Well, we finally made it, folks, to TMNT 3. This is my first VHS box, which is a pretty big deal, because now I have to get the other two. Oh no. It feels like it was just yesterday that we got these things on pre-order, so I'm really surprised to even have these things in hand. Both of them, but it's not even in my hands right now. It's right here on top of the VHS version of it, thanks to Moscato Bot. But before we get into it, these pins are available at your local theater, and they actually go to support a good cause. So just $3. My theater only had these two, so I didn't have Raphael or Donatello, but a good cause, and you can still be a total nerd. But you guys aren't here for me talking about other things other than Ninja Turtles, which is what I technically just did, so I'm really just talking turtles all the time. But I know you want to see this, so let's get into it. The box is way too big, so you're gonna have to turn your phone or something, because look at this. It's the same size as my freaking camera space. So gigantic box, way larger than I actually thought it was, but here we go. We got figures in place of the movie, which looks like that. They really did a good job until you really compare one to one. Obviously, some of these facial expressions just aren't part of the pack. That's pretty close. Where's he looking? Over here? You should be looking at that, Leo. What are you doing? Don't need to pick this apart. We're super excited to see these figures in action, figure form. These figures in action figure form. I'm so stupid. But there we go. We'll never get her. We'll probably get him again. But what's up with that? Paige Turco, we need it. Really just for the second movie. Maybe they make a 2-pack if they ever get her likeness and just do second and third movie and call it quits. But there we go. The side of the box looks like a VHS. Looks like a VHS. Top of the box, can we get that in frame? 14 and up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Insert comment about the movie not being that great. Here's all the information that you could possibly not care about more, except for this, which we have to read at an angle. And then also this. I don't care about the diet. Come on. Get it in frame. This is what we like. So we'd like to know that Randy Falk, Trevor, always on top. Then who sculpted it? Brody. Dang. And Jason Fraley. I don't know Jason, but Brody. Yeah, I knew that. Obviously, duh. Because of social media on Instagram, he's sharing all kinds of good stuff. Tailoring would be for the soft goods, I assume. Paint. We see this name a lot, so that's great. And let's get into it. So, sliding out this gigantic thing. I haven't even looked at this yet. Ooh, lucky. Daddy likey. So stupid. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't even realize this. So, the Secret of the Ooze featured on cover are sold separately. Yeah, obviously, because they didn't have... Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So this is... weird. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense because their clothing doesn't come off. All right, so a box with a lot of glare is always a disappointment, but can we get a good view of what's going on here? I don't know. So we got the turtles in the packaging. You get a good view. So for the in-box collectors, I think you're gonna really like this presentation. You get to see pretty much everything except for the alternate heads, which are kind of hiding in the background there. But overall, I like this style. I like the backdrop is really nice, the wood floor, and the back of this box. More figure shots, so let's get a close-up of that. So you get all of those beautiful boys in their costumes. I guess you could call them costumes, but they're samurai outfits. And there you go. Alternate head sculpts, which I'm gonna say right now, those bandanas don't belong on those bodies. You can see how it's humped up. It's lifted for this. So if you're gonna swap your heads, put them in different bandanas. They're not designed for that. They look so weird. So let's open it.
Delicately. Be very gentle.
Now this is a collector box, so this is not something you toss. If you don't want the box, then put it online, let someone buy it. For a reasonable price, okay? Don't be a jerk. All right, give the old sliderino. Look at them in their plastic goodness. Now that is a beautiful backdrop. That is something essentially right out of the movie, it feels like. Artists deserve their credit, and that is a great backdrop. So here we go. We got 2 layers, all kinds of pockets of plastic goodness. So it's gonna be a few minutes because there's a lot of stuff, so let me get this out of there. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff obviously. Yeah, I've been recording on both. Okay, so I get so scared when I'm like, did I forget to turn this one on? Lots of stuff to check out. We've got, oh my God, where do we even start? So all these extra hands, I mean, the details are just fantastic. It's just classic NECA in the sense that, you know, you're gonna get great sculpt work, and on top of that, incredible paint work. I mean, the value of this set is pretty, oh God, I just destroyed everything. Can you hear me? I messed up the microphone. Where was I? Ah, yes, details, sculpt, paint, all of the things that we could possibly want out of a set of figures that cost 150 bucks. But this is great. I mean, come on. There's like, look at, okay, we gotta get this we gotta get this in the camera. I need you to see this. Okay, so it's gonna go up the camera hole. The details around the fingers, how the gloves are kind of worn out. They even have this like dirt going on in the crevices of this. This is so good. It's just so aged. You get these kind of relaxed hands that are just for relaxing. You get some pointing hands, which probably can also hold some size in a very Raphael way. You got these gripping hands, pretty standard. Again, just great detail all the way around. And you get some good old punchy fisty stuff. Then we got all of the gripping hands on by default, so you're gonna have to really choose how you want your turtle set up, right? You're gonna have to have some stuff in their hands. Probably you're gonna run out of stuff real quick. Continuing on, let's look at these whatever swords. They're fine. These are probably the more basic thing, but the metal looks absolutely incredible. So let's look at the details around the hilt or whatever. The gold is nice, the handle is good, but this one really stands out to me. The way the handle is sculpted and painted, it's so beautiful. And even on the inside, it really kind of has this like metal worked appearance to it. Looks like it's all been hammered out by some blacksmith. This is so beautiful. Bow staff, pretty standard on this. You just got essentially 2 colors of paint, that's it. No big deal, but these swords look really, really nice. Let's compare to the old ones. So Leonardo from the first movie, let's look at one of his swords. So these things notoriously have broken. This thing's bent because I laid it down one time, and now I'm like, this is gonna snap at any point. But the details are, you know, movie accurate in a sense, but this thickness of this blade and all the extra little, like the care put into this one is so much higher. It feels like a more sturdy sword. And I just said this on my Sinja Patrol Pot video and then broke the blade right off the handle. But that was just because I'm an idiot. So you have to consider that. When you're playing with your toys, go, am I an idiot? Yes. Okay, let me put the sword over here and then change ahead. Oh. The size look pretty standard to size of yesteryear. They are fine. Nothing special there. These also look like every version of the nunchucks we've ever had, which is fine. I mean, it's like, don't fix what ain't broke or whatever. These face masks, they all are pretty much exactly the same thing, except for you have some color variants. I got it stuck on my thumbnail. See the idiot thing I said earlier? It's happening. So there are some color variants on their mustaches. You got some purple, brown, gray, and a dark brown. So that's kind of interesting. I would assume purple goes to purple, but we're gonna have to like look at the box or movie or something and see who's supposed to get what. And you got these time scepters. What are they called? I should look at the box. I hate to have somebody in the comments tell me that I'm a poser. Yeah, time scepter. So you have the broken one, the good one, and the homemade one, which, yeah, it looks like a modern take of just trying to twist. There's some really good details. And whoever sculpted this in the original movie, really nicely done, you know, like trying to consider like, well, what scraps would they have around that they could do this like homemade version. Looks really nice. This broken, it's like a piece of bamboo or something. And then these, let's look at the really good one that has no real Japanese characters going down the side of it. This is just kind of, I mean, that looks close to a real character. It's just poorly done. Some of them I can kind of see look like real Japanese characters, and then some of it's just kind of looks like gibberish. You know how it was back then. Nobody knew what they were doing. I mean, shoot, even in the animation, Splinter says, "Oh, my old friend Obento, which is just like a lunchbox. He calls his friend lunchbox. But this nice, good details. It's gorgeous with the metal working. I mean, this looks like an antique for sure. It's tilted a little bit, so kind of a bad. Uh-oh, I'm never gonna try to fix that, but mine's a little bit crooked. And you have the busted up version, which is aged and just worn out. Obviously the broken glass and all that stuff. It's such a nicely done piece. So good. As they are always doing. What? I lost so much energy just now. Let's look at these alternate heads before we get into the turtles, because that's what you're here for. So I gotta make you wait. So Michelangelo, he comes with this alternate head knot, as they called it. But this has gotta go, baby. That does not belong to him. It belongs to this one, okay? So remember that. Take those bandanas off and match up your boys to the movies appropriately. Thank you and you're welcome. Leonardo is so angry. He's got the crazy eyes. Oh my God, it's beautiful. These are some great head sculpts. I'm so glad that they had an opportunity to get these things made. There we go. Donatello, also very angry. This is the best head sculpt we've seen from a Donatello, in my opinion. Gotta fix his weird little beak that he's got. But this is nice. Whoever the red one is, look at this. That is an angry Raphael. Another just fantastic head sculpt. Worth 150 bucks if you didn't want any of these guys? Probably. No, but somebody will do it. Someone will pay for it. The robe pieces are nice. They're pretty basic. They are all the same except for the Leonardo one. And I remember seeing something early on from one of the early reviewers like weeks ago that this was like, they couldn't figure out how to get this on his back. So I am a little bit worried, but we'll see if we can do it on this channel and see if we're cooler than the other guys. Wink. That took away all cool points, didn't it? These robes do have a wire going all the way through the front, so you can get some nice epic in motion poses, especially if you got some little horsies to put them on. Now, Raphael, details, good God. This is a gorgeous thing. Now, are these the worst head sculpts? Yes, but that's not NECA's fault. NECA did exactly what they needed to. They pulled the ugliness from the movie and put it into these figures so that we could have, recollection. We could recall, we could relive how garbage this movie is visually. I also hate the movie all the way around, and from top to bottom, in and out, all around. It's all bad. The best thing is that we got these figures from it, and I'm here for it, okay? That's why I got them in my hands. If I wasn't for it, I wouldn't have bought them. It makes sense. Details, baby, we got them. I love all this. Now, the only thing that would really have bumped these guys up to the next level was if all of the fabric stuff was actual fabric, like the jacket coat things. Because even this like tied knot in the back, it kind of looks like it probably was green, but it just looks like they forgot to paint it, like a cheap Playmates toy or something where the sculpt is there, but they couldn't afford to paint. But I love this detail, the sculpting, my God. It's just, how did they even do this? How did they get away with this beautiful work? What's it like underneath there? Still got like a nice color and texture to it. Oh God, excellent job. Good job to Brody Perkins, who crushed it. Of course, the dude's amazing. Between him and Tom and Paul Harding, we just get everything we could possibly dream of. Let's pop this thing off the skull. So it just locks onto the knot on the back of their head. Okay, let's focus camera. Could you imagine doing a video and then I'm showing you stuff and it's just out of focus the whole time? You just see my fingers or something? That would be crazy. Who would ever release a video like that? But there you go, it just locks in place, but you still get all this nice texture and colors and stuff on the inside and the back of the head. Now, the biggest thing I'm noticing about this new head sculpt is to get any articulation out of the head, you have this God. You have these gigantic holes, and that's probably in line with the movie because NECA did a great job on the previous one of including that kind of seam and that edge or whatever that came on the previous movie versions. That's exactly how those looked. So this is probably just to match that as well. But let's take a head off. Hey, see the details continue going all the way through there. Now the head sizes, how much difference is there in size? Pretty substantial, really. That is a big head for the Raphael from the third movie. That is very large. I think it's gonna cause some problems. I already know it's gonna cause some problems because I watched Mad Hatter's review. But you could put this on there and actually get a much better looking, oh God, if I can do it. That's way better, isn't it? That is so much better. It's just, it really, like, okay, hold on. I'll be back. Okay, I'm exhausted and defeated because so many of these old heads I try to take off from movie 1 and movie 2, and I cannot get the peg out of their head. So, I feel like I need a nap now. Honestly, it was exhausting. The only one I could get out was Leo. I got lucky, I think, with Michelangelo, but it's a mix between movie 1 and movie 2. It's fine, but, God. Okay, anyway. Downside to the angry head sculpt in this set is that you get the bright blue, which goes well with the second movie, where they had like kind of medium length bandanas. But if you have the first movie, at least with this set that I have, it's a darker blue. Which one's what? How come? Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. They stated that they work with the first and second, but yeah, obviously there's going to be some concerns. Not gonna pop that on all the way because I'm so mad. But don't use these super long bandanas because again, they're not designed to go on top of these bodies. They need it on top of the samurai stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably ideal on the second movie. Take those bandanas off, put it on the new head, and yeah, it does definitely seem more like a, that was not in focus. Who am I, Mad Hatter? They definitely seem more in line with the second movie as far as the paint and the spots and stuff. It's game over for this old man. But original Leonardo versus new Leonardo, which is here, so huge difference in the looks and the face and all that stuff, right? So just a totally different head. This just seems so cheap. But that's the movie. The movie felt cheap. One of the big things was the eye holes, I guess. So they cut around the eyes a lot more with this new set. But look at how sloppy the paint is underneath the eyes as well. I prefer probably the angry regular heads. But the issue being, as we saw with Mad Hatter's videos, that you can't really get this thing to lock into their bandanas as easily. There, alternate bandana definitely goes with these guys because the third movie, they were just super long. But yeah, they don't snap in quite the same as they do with the other head. But, I mean, it's already better, right? So just imagine the other head if you could actually get it off of the box, or off the peg. Ugh, whatever. Confused myself so much. I've made such a mess. There you go. Take the old bandana, put it on the new head. The color is just off a little bit though, but this is second movie Michelangelo. They just matched the paint to the new movie and didn't pull the old paint, which is honestly kind of a real bummer. The first film is here with Michelangelo, second film bandana on the back, but the third movie box set head. So yeah, there's some, this is from the accessory set, I think. So some serious differences in the paint and everything. This is like, it's got a lot more of the lighter green. Splitter! I thought I'd be more excited for these angry faces, but there's just some kind of certain parts are just really missing the mark, that it's throwing these things off and making them very strange. Donatello, again, a peg hole issue, but if you were to put that angry head on there, that's what that looks like. This one doesn't seem so bad from the second movie. Yes, it's a darker shell is the second movie. So that works pretty well. The spots and stuff are similar. If you were gonna go with the first movie, you're gonna notice that the difference in the spots, but I think it would work. Again, the bandana colors are just so kind of random, especially if you got them from like a GameStop release or something. I have literally a pile of Ninja Turtles over here. You can't see them on camera. Whatever. Let's see if we can't get this Leonardo thing on his back. So my brain's gonna tell me that we need to just probably go with maybe the top first, because the bottom has a lot more give. So let's go top and wiggle our way down to the bottom. Yeah, easy. Just go in from the side. Not a problem. Just gotta go top and then come in at sideways so you get a little bit more give in this fabric. There you go. Boom. We did it. Is that how they're supposed to go? Seems weird. And then just slide his arms through like you normally would with these different jackets and things. But I'll be honest, it doesn't look good on there. It's really kind of strange looking. It's all bunched up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the measurements are off on those cut pieces. Or maybe it's supposed to look like that, but I'm not really a fan of this layout. Is it possible I put it on wrong? But I guess it's the limitation of, you know, you make the best of it. Nice thing about the swords here is that they actually get a really nice tight fit because of this extra metal bit at the end. They're built specifically for these. So if you line them up right, you can actually get them to lock in and have a really nice tight fit. Which is good because when he's riding a horse, they're not going to come sliding out. And then the rest of it is pretty straightforward. These are just going to go on like normal jackets for everybody else. Easy enough, so thank goodness. Downside is Donatello doesn't have anywhere for his bow to go, which is kind of an odd choice, isn't it? Where's the camera? I looked over here at myself. So there you go. You got all these boys. You got this thing, which I'm going to say purple goes to Donatello, right? It'd be crazy not to. Probably needs to go below the knot, but can we just do a quick, easy thing without taking it all apart? I mean, technically you can get it on without going underneath the knot, but it makes the helmet a little loose. So if you're just not feeling it, you can make it work. So this gigantic mess on my table, God. Let's talk about articulation, I guess. So the heads are pretty straightforward. The Fulton ones have a huge hole underneath their heads, but you're gonna get some pretty basic articulation. However, there is somewhat of like a butterfly thing going on in here, which is really nice. And then you just get a single thing here for the elbow, which is fine. Standard wrist stuff and the good ball joints. And then you can kick and do stuff and nobody cares. Somebody cares. This is the worst part about the whole thing is that you can see the very clear, like solid square joint. But these guys with their belts and stuff, as we saw, I'm sure you already watched Mad Hatter's review. You can still put weapons into these things. So if you need Michelangelo to have his, you could do that wherever they are. I made such a mess. I'm so defeated after those heads. God, why am I doing this? But they're just tacked in right here in the center. So yeah, no problem as far as getting these things in there. There you go. Easy enough. Boom. Shakalaka. Boom. So from here, there's too many things, too many accessories. I know that you all care desperately about finding a good horse. The problem is they're super expensive. I mean, who's got $80+ to just buy these old Mythic Legions horses? I got lucky and found a really, really good deal on some horses, and I want to share this with you so that you know that there are better options out there. There you go. Look at that. And the nice thing about this is that it actually has like real hair, real horse hair, instead of that awful plastic stuff that you get with the Mythic Legions. And it has articulation, so you're getting a great value on this horse, and it's the brown one, which everyone wants because you want your turtles to be on there. So we're gonna take Michelangelo, and he fits obviously perfectly on this thing, just as you would expect. It is the perfect scale. Look at this. You cannot beat that. It is the perfect setup. It's $10, and you can still get them on there backwards in that classic goofy Michelangelo. Oh God, Michelangelo, you're facing the wrong way. Oh my God. Oh, that's Mikey. You know what I mean? That's Mikey. But there you go. You got your horsies, and I know what you're thinking. I know. It's really important to bring up, but yes, they do make it in black as well. Now, I guess you could say it's a dark brown, but that mane is certainly black. So there you go. You just grab a few of these things, $10 a piece. You got your turtle set together, and you saved a ton of money, and you look way cooler because you got the real hair on there, which you can also brush, which is really, really nice. Now, you will have to buy a brush separately, but I found that it's very, very relaxing to just kind of brush it. It's nice. Now I got to get into the part that I don't really want to do because there's so much stuff here. But thank you so much for watching. We're going to get into posing now. We'll see you next time. And be sure to watch Mad Hatter's horse review so you know what's actually a good one. It's obviously not these. It's right there. Watch it. Come on, click it. I'm upside down here. Let's do it.